Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Today, we reflect on the extraordinary life of Alan Yentob, a visionary figure in British television whose creative touch shaped generations of programming and culture. Born in 1947 to Iraqi Jewish parents in East London, Alan carved out a path defined by curiosity, passion, and an unshakable belief in the power of the arts. Starting as a young BBC trainee in 1968, Alan rose to lead some of the organization's most iconic departments. He became a pioneer of television storytelling, directing unforgettable documentaries like Cracked Actor, which gave viewers a rare and tender glimpse into the life of David Bowie. His work was never just about fame, it was about humanity, creativity, and truth. Behind the scenes, Alan was instrumental in launching beloved shows such as Absolutely Fabulous, Wallace and Gromit, and The Office, all while nurturing emerging voices and fresh perspectives. He served as a bridge between high culture and everyday life, ensuring the arts were not just admired, but accessible to all. In later years, Alan battled congestive heart failure, a challenge he met with quiet strength. Even as his health declined, his dedication never wavered. His final works, including a moving interview with author Sir Salman Rushdie, reminded us of his gift for listening deeply and telling stories that matter. Alan Yentob's life was one of vibrant imagination and heartfelt connection. He brought warmth to our screens and championed creativity in every form. As we remember his legacy, we celebrate a man whose work inspired understanding, unity, and the enduring value of art in all our lives. Marcel Ophuls, one of the most influential documentarians of the 20th century, was born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1927 and lived a life shaped by the tumult of history and guided by an unyielding dedication to truth. He passed peacefully at the age of 97 at his home in southern France, following a lifetime of extraordinary contributions to cinema and public understanding. The son of acclaimed director Max Ophuls, Marcel's early years were marked by exile, as his family fled Nazi Germany and later settled in the United States. These formative experiences of war and displacement deeply informed his work, leading to some of the most courageous and probing documentaries ever made. His groundbreaking film, The Sorrow and the Pity, 1969, challenged national myths by examining the complex realities of French collaboration during World War II. It was a bold and deeply human work that stirred debate and reflection across Europe and beyond. Years later, his Oscar-winning documentary Hotel Terminus, 1988, investigated the post-war life of Nazi officer Klaus Barbie, weaving over 120 hours of interviews into a powerful meditation on justice and memory. Marcel Ophuls never shied away from uncomfortable truths. Whether exploring the Nuremberg trials, the war in Northern Ireland, or the siege of Sarajevo, his films were marked by intellectual rigor, empathy, and moral clarity. He pushed the boundaries of documentary filmmaking and left a lasting mark on how history is told and remembered. Though he often joked about wanting to make musicals, Ophuls instead gave the world something far more vital: films that remind us of the importance of memory, accountability, and the courage to question. His legacy is a testament to the power of storytelling in its most profound form. Latest news: Robert De Niro, a life of grit, greatness, and grace in the face of time. How is he still going strong? Robert De Niro is not just a Hollywood icon, he is a living archive of American cinema. With a career spanning over 5 decades, his name alone evokes a tidal wave of emotion, power, and authenticity. But behind the piercing eyes of Vito Corleone and the tortured soul of Travis Bickle lies a deeply personal journey marked by resilience, artistic devotion, private heartbreak, and the quiet battles no camera ever captured. Today, as he enters his 80s, we reflect on how this powerhouse of talent continues to defy age, endure adversity, and inspire generations. Born on August 17, 1943 in Manhattan, De Niro was raised by artist parents whose relationship ended when he was just 2 years old. His father had come out as gay, in a time when such truths were not easily accepted. Though they lived apart, De Niro remained close to both parents. Raised primarily by his mother in Greenwich Village, he was shy, pale, and often bullied. His grandparents, in secret, baptized him into the Catholic Church, creating tension between old-world faith and his parents' bohemian lifestyle. At the age of 10, thanks to his mother's work-typing scripts for a drama workshop, De Niro was introduced to acting. By 16, he left school to pursue his craft, studying under Stella Adler and immersing himself in method acting. The streets of New York became his classroom, real people became his material, and in that raw environment, Robert De Niro began shaping his art. His first film appearance came in 1963's The Wedding Party, though it was not released until 1969. In 1973, he made his true breakthrough in Bang the Drum Slowly, playing a doomed baseball catcher with quiet dignity. That same year, he met Martin Scorsese, leading to a partnership that would shape cinematic history. Their first collaboration, Mean Streets, introduced audiences to Johnny Boy, a reckless, magnetic character that cemented De Niro's status as an actor who gave everything to his roles. The following year, he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in The Godfather Part II as young Vito Corleone. De Niro's preparation was legendary. He studied Sicilian dialects for months, refusing to compromise on authenticity. He was only 31, yet he skipped the Oscars to continue filming abroad. His priorities were always clear. The work came first. Then came Taxi Driver. To embody the tormented Travis Bickle, De Niro drove a real cab through New York for 3 months, dropping 35 pounds and immersing himself in the psyche of disillusionment. The famous line, "You talkin' to me?" was improvised in front of a mirror, unscripted, yet unforgettable. His commitment deepened in Raging Bull, where he trained with boxer Jake LaMotta, and later gained 60 pounds to portray LaMotta's decline, an act so intense that doctors warned him never to repeat it. He continued to transform himself, studying stalkers for The King of Comedy, wearing silk underwear to stay in character for Goodfellas, even using real cash in scenes to feel the weight of greed. He never faked it. If it was not real, it was not good enough. But his personal life was no less dramatic. After his marriage to Diane Abbott, with whom he had 2 children, he raised twin sons through surrogacy with Toukie Smith. Later, he married Grace Hightower, with whom he had 2 more children. Their tumultuous relationship saw a bitter divorce that led to public scrutiny over finances. Court records revealed that De Niro was allegedly working non-stop in his late 70s just to fund Hightower's extravagant lifestyle, one that reportedly included over $200,000 per month in expenses. In 2023, the heartbreak deepened. On July 2nd, his 19-year-old grandson Leandro passed away from a fatal overdose involving fentanyl-laced pills. The tragedy shocked De Niro, known for his emotional restraint. The arrest of the alleged drug dealer soon followed, bringing national attention to the opioid crisis. As he grieved, his partner Tiffany Chen faced a terrifying health crisis. Diagnosed with Bell's palsy shortly after giving birth, her face became partially paralyzed. De Niro remained a steady, supportive presence during her recovery. That same year, he found himself in court over a $12 million lawsuit brought by his former assistant, Graham Chase Robinson, who accused him of gender discrimination and harassment. Though De Niro was personally cleared, his company was ordered to pay $1.2 million in damages. Audio clips of him shouting and anecdotes about inappropriate requests, like asking her to scratch his back, ignited fierce debate about power, gender, and respect in Hollywood workplaces. Despite personal upheaval, De Niro never slowed down. In 2023, he returned to the screen in Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, portraying William Hale, a manipulative rancher at the heart of a dark chapter in American history. At 79, he once again disappeared into a complex, morally ambiguous character. The film received a 9-minute standing ovation at Cannes and reminded critics that De Niro's talent has only grown sharper with age. Off-screen, he remained vocal. In 2024, De Niro made headlines with impassioned political speeches, calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy. His remarks were divisive, drawing applause from some and costing him awards from others. His Service to America award was rescinded just days before the ceremony due to the controversy. But true to form, De Niro did not back down. His late career also saw a creative reinvention, starring in comedies like The Intern and About My Father, working with new directors and engaging a younger generation of fans. In The Irishman, he portrayed aging with haunting realism, and in Joker, he returned to gritty cinema with depth and nuance. Even as his private world was shaken, from family tragedies to health scares to lawsuits and political backlash, Robert De Niro never stopped showing up. Through grief, pressure, and change, he remained the artist the world fell in love with, relentless, brave, and utterly devoted to his craft. What does Robert De Niro teach us today? That strength is not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it head-on. That a life well lived is not spotless, but full of risk, emotion, and integrity. That aging, far from diminishing talent, can enrich it. What is your favorite De Niro moment? Was it his transformation in Raging Bull, his haunting stillness in The Irishman, or his raw grief in recent interviews? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like and share this tribute if Robert De Niro's journey has touched your life, and join us in honoring one of the greatest storytellers of our time. Val Kilmer, one of Hollywood's most magnetic leading men, passed away on April 1, 2025, at the age of 65. His official cause of death was pneumonia, with underlying health conditions linked to his courageous, decade-long battle with throat cancer. From the soaring skies of Top Gun to the brooding depths of The Doors, Val Kilmer's range was remarkable. He brought characters to life with rare intensity, none more iconic than his haunting portrayal of Jim Morrison or his unforgettable turn as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. He wore the cape of Batman with stoic grace and stood shoulder to shoulder with legends in films like Heat and The Ghost and The Darkness. Behind the spotlight, Kilmer faced profound personal trials. Diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014, he endured multiple surgeries, including a tracheotomy that forever altered his voice. Yet, he remained a passionate artist, finding new ways to connect through his art, including his acclaimed 2021 documentary Val, which offered a deeply human portrait of his journey and legacy. Though illness quieted his voice, it never dimmed his spirit. He returned briefly to the screen in Top Gun, Maverick, offering fans a poignant farewell and a testament to his enduring courage. Kilmer was also a father, an artist, a writer, and a thinker, as eloquent in his 2020 memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry, as he was on screen. He is survived by his daughter Mercedes and son Jack, who were the center of his world. Val Kilmer's legacy is one of brilliance and bravery, a man who gave everything to his craft and who met life's hardest challenges with grace, humor, and heart. His work will live on, and so will the love he inspired. George Wendt, a cherished presence in American television, was born in 1948 on the South Side of Chicago. Best known for his beloved role as Norm Peterson on the long-running sitcom Cheers, George brought warmth, humor, and an everyman charm to living rooms across the country for over a decade. His signature entrances and quick-witted one-liners became a staple of the show, and his performance earned him 6 consecutive Emmy nominations, an extraordinary testament to his talent. George's journey into comedy began humbly, sweeping floors at the Second City in Chicago. It wasn't long before his innate comedic gift brought him on stage, where he honed the timing and depth that would later define his career. Though Cheers was his most iconic role, he appeared in more than 170 film and television projects, from Broadway performances to voice work in animated classics. His ability to find the human truth in every character, no matter how lighthearted, made him deeply relatable. Behind the scenes, George was a devoted husband and father, married for nearly 5 decades to actress Bernadette Burkett, who lent her voice to the character of Vera, Norm's unseen wife on Cheers. Together, they built a family full of love and laughter, raising 3 children and nurturing a strong bond with his nephew, actor Jason Sudeikis. In his later years, George remained active in the arts and committed to his family. On May 20, 2025, he passed away peacefully in his sleep at home in California, with the official cause being natural. His legacy is one of kindness, steady humor, and a deep connection with audiences who saw in him a reflection of the neighbor, the friend, the familiar face at the corner bar. George Wendt may have left the stage, but his spirit lives on in the warmth he brought to the screen and the joy he shared with us all. Robert Benton, a masterful storyteller whose films shaped generations of cinema lovers, passed peacefully in his Manhattan home at the age of 92. Born in the small town of Waxahachie, Texas, Benton would go on to become one of Hollywood's most revered screenwriters and directors, a 3-time Academy Award winner whose work touched the hearts of millions. From his early days as an art director at Esquire, Benton was a creative force, a craftsman of both image and word. He co-wrote the revolutionary Bonnie and Clyde, a film that not only captivated audiences, but transformed the landscape of American cinema. Later, he brought Superman to life in the 1978 blockbuster that redefined what a hero could be. But it was Kramer versus Kramer that truly defined Benton's career. With stunning performances by Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep, the film delicately explored the complexities of family, parenting, and change. It earned Benton Oscars for both Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay, along with Best Picture. He followed this triumph with Places in the Heart, a poignant homage to his Texas roots. Sally Field's performance, guided by Benton's deeply personal writing and direction, won her an Academy Award. Benton's ability to capture human resilience, vulnerability, and dignity set him apart. Despite setbacks, including the mixed reception of some later works, Benton always returned to storytelling with honesty and grace. He brought out the best in actors like Paul Newman, Nicole Kidman, and Anthony Hopkins, leaving behind a catalog of deeply human stories. Robert Benton's cause of passing was natural, a gentle close to a long life rich in art and purpose. His legacy will endure through the characters he gave us, flawed, searching, unforgettable, and through the heartfelt truths he revealed on screen. Wink Martindale, a warm and familiar face to generations of game show fans, passed away at the age of 91 in Rancho Mirage, California, surrounded by his beloved family. Over a remarkable 74-year career in radio and television, Wink became an enduring symbol of charm, wit, and positivity on American screens. Born in Jackson, Tennessee in 1933, Wink's career began at just 17 years old as a local disc jockey. But it wasn't long before his charismatic presence and deep passion for broadcasting launched him into national fame. He brought infectious energy to every role, from hosting early radio shows to presiding over iconic television programs like Gambit, High Rollers, and Tic-Tac-Dough, a show he hosted for 7 memorable years. Wink's journey wasn't without its hurdles. Transitioning from radio to television demanded adaptability and resilience. But his people-first attitude and enduring optimism became his signature, endearing him to millions of viewers. He often said, "A good host is someone who loves people." And Wink lived that truth each day on air. His talents extended beyond hosting. He was also a recording artist, achieving a Billboard hit with Deck of Cards in 1959, and he played a role in early rock and roll history, calling Elvis Presley's mother to arrange the King's first radio interview. His influence stretched across generations, touching not only fans, but also his peers, who admired his professionalism and generous spirit. Throughout his life, Wink supported numerous charitable causes and was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2006. His passing marks the close of a joyful era, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of all who remember his voice, his smile, and the joy he brought into their homes. Richard Norton, a name synonymous with strength, artistry, and quiet generosity, passed away at the age of 75 in Melbourne. Best known for his work as a martial artist, actor, and acclaimed stunt coordinator, Richard's influence spanned continents and genres, leaving a lasting mark on cinema and those who knew him. Born in Australia, Richard first captivated audiences through his powerful screen presence and masterful martial arts skills. He got his big break in Chuck Norris's 1980 film The Octagon, launching a screen career that would span over 70 films. From Mad Max, Fury Road to Furiosa, from Suicide Squad to X-Men, Dark Phoenix, his talent elevated every frame he graced, whether in front of the camera or behind the scenes. Richard didn't just fight on screen. He trained some of Hollywood's finest to do it too. Charlize Theron, Liam Neeson, Scarlett Johansson. These stars benefited from his coaching, his discipline, and his heart. He was more than a stuntman. He was a mentor, a creator, a friend. His journey wasn't without challenges. The physical toll of decades in high-octane action and the constant push to deliver excellence in a demanding industry required immense strength and resilience. But through it all, Richard never lost the warmth and humility that made him so beloved. Tributes from directors like James Gunn and icons like Chuck Norris speak volumes. They remember a man full of energy, wisdom, and joy, a man who seemed decades younger than his years. Richard Norton's passing is a deep loss, but his legacy, etched in every fight sequence, every training session, every life he touched, lives on with enduring spirit. Denise Alexander, a beloved icon of daytime television, passed away on March 5th at the age of 85, leaving behind a legacy that spanned over 7 decades and touched the hearts of millions. Born in New York City, Denise began performing as a child, her early work in radio setting the stage for a remarkable career. From her Broadway debut in The Children's Hour to guest spots on The Twilight Zone and Father Knows Best, Denise's talent shone brightly long before she stepped into the world of soap operas. But it was in the halls of General Hospital and Days of Our Lives that Denise made her most enduring mark. As Susan Martin on Days, she captivated audiences for over 7 years, bringing depth and humanity to every twist and turn of the storyline. When she transitioned to General Hospital in 1973 to play Dr. Leslie Weber, she became a cornerstone of one of daytime's most beloved families and a pioneer as one of the first female doctors on television. Her portrayal of Leslie, especially in the emotional arc where she shielded her daughter Laura from tragedy, earned her an Emmy nomination and etched her into the hearts of viewers. Her return in 1996 after a 12-year absence was met with joy and celebration, proving how deeply she was missed and cherished. Off-screen, Denise was known for her kindness, her grace, and her enduring dedication to her craft. She called her time on General Hospital a gift, and for audiences, she was just that. Her passing closes a cherished chapter in television history, but Denise Alexander's legacy of strength, compassion, and artistry will live on in every memory and every heart she touched. Priscilla Pointer, a graceful presence on stage and screen, passed away peacefully in her sleep on April 28th at the remarkable age of 100. With a career that spanned over 6 decades, she touched audiences through generations with her strength, subtlety, and unwavering elegance. Born in New York City in 1924, Priscilla's roots in the arts ran deep, raised in a creative home by parents Augusta and Kenneth Pointer. Her journey began in theater, with acclaimed performances in productions like A Streetcar Named Desire and The Condemned of Altona, before transitioning to the screen. She made her television debut in the 1950s and steadily became a familiar face, guest starring in classics such as McCloud, The Rockford Files, and Kojak. But it was in 1976's Carrie where she etched herself into cinematic history, appearing alongside her daughter, Amy Irving, and bringing unforgettable depth to a mother-daughter dynamic that mirrored real life. In the 1980s, audiences embraced her in the hit series Dallas, where she portrayed Rebecca Barnes Wentworth with commanding presence and heart. Her screen roles, often of strong, complex mothers, became her signature, especially in films like Blue Velvet and Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Priscilla's love for storytelling extended beyond acting. With her late husband, Jules Irving, she co-founded the San Francisco Actors Workshop, nurturing a life of creativity that continues through her children, including director David Irving and actress Amy Irving. Her final performance came in 2008, but her influence endures. In every role, every stage she graced, and every viewer she moved. Priscilla Pointer was not just an actress. She was a mother, a mentor, and a gentle force in American entertainment. She will be remembered, always. Peggy Moffett, a pioneering force in fashion and film, passed away peacefully at her Beverly Hills home on August 10, 2024, at the age of 86, due to complications from dementia. Though soft-spoken in person, her bold visual identity spoke volumes, redefining beauty, rebellion, and style in the swinging 60s and beyond. Born in Hollywood in 1938, Peggy grew up steps away from the Paramount Studios lot. Her early aspirations led her to study acting at New York's Neighborhood Playhouse, sharing classrooms with future greats like Robert Duvall and Suzanne Plachette. She began her screen journey with roles in films like You're Never Too Young and Girls Town, but it was modeling where Peggy's legacy truly took shape. Peggy's collaboration with avant-garde designer Rudi Gernreich and her husband, photographer William Claxton, created some of the most iconic images of the 20th century. In 1964, she modeled the daring Monokini, Gernreich's topless swimsuit, which sparked global headlines and international debate. More than a fashion statement, it was a cultural moment, one that challenged convention and championed a woman's autonomy over her image. With her sculptural haircut, harlequin makeup, and chiseled poses, Peggy Moffitt didn't just model clothing, she became living art. Her influence shaped generations of designers, photographers, and models. Her small but memorable role in Antonioni's blow-up brought her signature style to the silver screen during a cinematic era brimming with change. She remained devoted to preserving the legacy of her creative partners, her husband Claxton and Gernreich, and in doing so, secured her own. Peggy Moffett wasn't just a model. She was a symbol of freedom, creativity, and unshakable individuality. Her presence endures in every frame, every line, and every bold step forward. Mity McCall, a pioneering force in American comedy and television, passed away peacefully on August 8th 2024 in Burbank, California. She was 93. With a career spanning more than 7 decades, Mity brought laughter, heart, and humanity to every stage she graced and every screen she lit up. Born in Pittsburgh in 1930, Mity discovered her love for performing early on, captivating local audiences on television and radio. Her sharp wit and petite stature made her a standout in a male-dominated comedy scene. But it was her dynamic partnership with her husband, Charlie Brill, that cemented her place in entertainment history. Together, as the beloved duo McCall and Brill, they performed on some of television's most iconic stages, including a legendary and famously difficult slot between the Beatles sets on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. Her comedic timing and versatility extended well beyond the spotlight of variety shows. Mity appeared on beloved series such as Seinfeld, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and Silk Stockings. Her voice animated childhoods through roles on The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show, Mother Goose and Grimm, and Ice Age. Behind the scenes, she also broke barriers as a writer for hit sitcoms like ALF, 8 is Enough, and One Day at a Time. More than a performer, Mity McCall was a mentor, a trailblazer, and a warm-hearted champion of others. She is remembered not only for her contributions to comedy and television, but for the kindness, strength, and joy she brought to everyone lucky enough to know her. Her legacy continues in every laugh she sparked, and in the stories she helped tell. Nancy B. Heffley, a beloved figure at Dodger Stadium and a cherished part of the Los Angeles Dodgers family, passed away on March 29, 2025, at the age of 89. For 27 unforgettable seasons, her music filled the stands and hearts of millions, creating a timeless soundtrack to summer nights and unforgettable baseball moments. Born with a gift for music, Nancy began playing piano at just 4 years old and quickly mastered the organ by 13. Her musical journey eventually led her to the heart of the ballpark, where she took over as the Dodgers organist in 1988. That same year, the team would go on to win the World Series, and a new legend at the keyboard was born. From her perch in the stadium, Nancy played over 2,000 songs from memory. Her melodies ranged from whimsical to stirring, always matching the moment on the field. Fans especially remember her playful tradition of playing Master of the House every time Orel Hershiser stepped onto the mound. Her style was as personal as it was nostalgic, a warm echo of baseball's golden era. Even as technology and tastes changed, Nancy's presence remained a cherished part of the Dodgers' identity. When she considered stepping back in 2015, the team offered her a lifetime contract, a gesture of deep respect and gratitude. She ultimately chose to retire that same year, receiving a heartfelt farewell from the team and its loyal fans. Nancy made the long commute from her home in Nevada to each homestand, always accompanied by her husband Bill, who remained by her side until his passing in 2019. Her music and memory continue to echo in the halls of Dodger Stadium, where her legacy lives on in every note that stirs a crowd. Latonia Patine, whose strength and spirit touched hearts across the nation during her appearance on TLC's My 600 Live. Life passed away on May 17, 2025, at the age of 40. A Louisiana native with a passion for caregiving and community, Latonia's journey was as profound as it was courageous. Growing up amid emotional hardship, Latonia faced deep loss early in life. At just 12 years old, she lost her mother, and shortly after, her family life changed drastically. Yet through adversity, she nurtured a giving heart, one that would go on to care for and inspire young women facing similar struggles. She rose to public attention in season 11 of My 600 Live, sharing a deeply personal journey of transformation in hopes of regaining her mobility and marrying her fiancé, Dawn. Though the road was steep, Latonia pressed forward, determined to find healing not just for her body, but for her soul. In recent years, Latonia faced serious health complications that left her bedridden. Yet, even as she battled physical pain and setbacks, she never lost sight of her dream to open a shelter for at-risk girls, a place filled with love, guidance, and the sense of home she longed for as a child. Preliminary reports suggest her passing may have been related to congestive heart failure, a condition she had fought valiantly against. Despite personal health struggles, Latonia remained focused on lifting others. She often reminded her supporters, "Life can take a turn, and you have to stay positive. You are somebody." Latonia's legacy lives on in the lives she inspired and the community she cherished. She was more than a reality TV star. She was a beacon of resilience, compassion, and unwavering hope. Breaking news. Today, we spotlight a man whose unmatched energy, artistic courage, and personal resilience have made him one of the most beloved figures in global cinema. Hugh Jackman is not only a powerhouse performer across film, stage, and television, he is also a symbol of strength in the face of adversity, both physical and emotional. How does someone remain a force of inspiration after decades in the spotlight? Join us as we dive deep into the life, health, and enduring legacy of this extraordinary star. Born on October 12, 1968, in Sydney, Australia, Hugh Jackman grew up in a household shaped by love and loss. His parents separated when he was 8, and his mother left the family, an event that deeply affected his emotional landscape. Raised by his father alongside his 4 siblings, Jackman learned resilience early. But even as a young man, he showed signs of greatness, charismatic, athletic, and passionate about performance. Jackman studied at the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts, where his magnetic presence and dedication to craft were evident. He began in television and theater in Australia, and it was on the set of the series Corelli, where he met Deborah Lee Furness, the woman who would become his wife and partner for nearly 3 decades. His global breakthrough came in 2000, when he was cast as Wolverine in the first X-Men film. It was a role he almost did not get. He was a last-minute replacement, unfamiliar with the comic book character. But from the moment he unsheathed those claws, Hugh Jackman redefined the modern superhero. Over the next 17 years, he would portray Wolverine 9 times, culminating in the critically acclaimed Logan, 2017. His performance, raw and vulnerable, earned him widespread praise and a Guinness World Record for the longest tenure as a live-action Marvel superhero. But Jackman was never content with being boxed into one type. While his physical transformation for Wolverine showcased his strength and discipline, his artistic heartbeat for the stage. In 2004, he won a Tony Award for his portrayal of Peter Allen in The Boy from Oz. He dazzled in musicals like Les Miserables, 2012, where he earned an Academy Award nomination for his role as Jean Valjean. In The Greatest Showman, 2017, he charmed audiences worldwide with his voice, his movement, and his message of acceptance. Even with the applause, Jackman faced very real battles. Starting in 2013, he revealed that he had been diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma, a form of skin cancer. Having grown up under the Australian sun without proper sun protection, he found himself undergoing repeated procedures to remove cancerous spots, particularly on his nose. He has spoken openly about these experiences, urging others to wear sunscreen and have regular skin checks. His candor turned a personal challenge into a public campaign for awareness and prevention. Jackman also worked diligently to stay healthy amid a grueling performance schedule. He adopted a strict workout regime and mindful eating habits to support his physical roles. But he never let image overshadow purpose. For him, health has always been about function, not just form, a way to remain fully alive in every role, every dance, every song. Outside of performance, Jackman is a devoted family man. He and Deborah Lee adopted 2 children, Oscar and Ava, and have long supported charitable causes, including children's welfare, anti-poverty campaigns, and education. In 2023, after 27 years of marriage, the couple announced their separation, a deeply personal transition that they navigated with mutual respect and privacy. Through it all, Jackman has remained grounded, approachable, and remarkably kind. He brings grace to every stage and every interaction. Whether hosting the Oscars or visiting fans, he exudes generosity. He has been praised not only for his talent, but for his humility and warmth. In 2022, he returned to Broadway in a major revival of The Music Man, proving once again that he can command the spotlight in any medium. And in 2024, fans celebrated the announcement that Jackman would return as Wolverine in the upcoming film Deadpool and Wolverine, a highly anticipated comeback that bridges past and present in the Marvel Universe. So what can we learn from Hugh Jackman's journey? That fame does not have to cost you your soul. That vulnerability can be a form of strength. That passion, when grounded in purpose, becomes legacy. Jackman's story is not just about the roles he played, but the life he has lived, with intensity, with honesty, and with heart. Through battles with illness, career reinventions, personal changes, and global fame, he remains not just a star, but a steady light. What is your favorite Hugh Jackman moment? Is it the fierce roar of Wolverine, the stirring song of Jean Valjean, or the quiet dignity with which he faces life's challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if Hugh Jackman's story has touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe for more tributes to the stars who move, uplift, and endure. Because Hugh Jackman is not just a performer. He is a reminder of the beauty found in strength, in sincerity, and in living each moment with full commitment.